Alright, what's up guys? So I thought I would do another build guide because a lot of things have changed recently. A lot of gear's been changed, stats got changed, lost some HP, that type of thing. For the most part, even with the changes that have been going on, the builds are still relatively similar. I will say, I mean, there's a couple things. I mean, obviously these aren't going to look really similar to what I was running before. This definitely looks way more like the thing I was running previously, but for the most part, I'm still running very similar stats. I'm just going about getting them in a different way. So yeah, just to start off with, I can show you guys one of these builds here. For the most part, as you can see, my stats are lower than what they used to be. PDR is pretty normal. Keep in mind, these are the perks I'm running: counterattack, sword mastery, shield mastery, swift. This is pretty much all I ever run now. I almost never run defense mastery anymore, especially not in solos. There is an argument to be made for defense mastery and something like duos or trios where you're going to be taking more damage. However, I've been running these builds with these perks in trios and still making it work pretty well. Other than that, like I said, your HP is going to be lower. You see, I'm all the way up to 38 Vig, and I'm only 169 HP. If this was before, this would be like 180 plus, because with the HP changes, because, everybody lost a flat 15 HP, so there's 15 off the bat there. And then they lowered the max amount of HP you could roll, so now you can roll 5 as a max instead of 6, and you can no longer roll HP percent. So if you want double HP, you have to go for max health and then vigor, which you see, like, I have on a couple pieces. That I can have it on. Obviously, some of them don't have it, but like rugged boots, these have no HP. There's no HP here, and these right here both have HP, and this does too. But yeah, and also with that being said, with that you can no longer you can't roll double max health. That works for Necklace of Peace too. So used to be you could roll max health bonus on Necklace of Peace. You can't roll that anymore. So that is a pretty big area that you lost some HP on. So now Necklace of Peace can only ever have 11 max HP instead of like the 14 or 15 you would get from the 2%. So in total, I would say most kits probably lost about 20 HP, maybe a little more depending on you know, this is, I mean, if you rebuilt a kit now, not your old gear might have lost more because of how they changed things. But like if you build a kit now, you're probably gonna have lost about 20 HP just because there are gonna be some pieces that you can't go for like max health Vig on. Like if you were to wear Brave Hunters, for example, like these, you can get max health and Vig on these because they don't have Vig as a base. However, if you wear plate pants, these have Vig on them. So what you would do before is you would get Vig as as your base stat, and then you go for max health bonus, so you effectively have triple max HP on that. Can't do that anymore. So, there's a couple more places that you lost health on. Grim Smile, same thing. You can't go for double max health here. So overall, you did lose a decent amount. Like I said before, this kit would easily be probably 185, maybe 190, or a little more. It definitely is in contention. I mean, let's realistically though, if that were my HP, then I would be like running not rugged boots and stuff. But that is what it is. But yeah, to get into the rest of the build, also they did lower move speed. You see, obviously now you can only get 1 move speed boots, not including agility. So 5 move speed is the max amount you can go for, which means you can definitely run for things like Lightfoots or Lace Turn Shoes to make up for that lack of move speed. However, I've been finding rugged boots to be probably my favorite just because of the lack of HP. Like you see, these are giving me 7 HP. And if I were to run Lightfoots, even if I had max HP on these, I would still lose like 4 or 5, depending on how much I rolled on it. And even if I did, like, I would only gain another, like 5 or 6 move speed, so I would still only be like 298 or 299, or sorry, 297 or 298, depending on the rarity that I go for. And I just don't really super highly value that move speed. If everybody else is slower, I don't feel the need to compensate by being a little bit faster. Because the thing is, the classes that are going to be faster than you, Warlocks, Rangers, Wizards, if you put Lightfoots on, they're still faster than you. That's not really going to change. Other than that, most of the gear pieces, you can see, like, obviously, like, most of these kits all have a lot of different pieces on. There are a lot of different things you can use. Really, the only, like, one constant are the boots I've been using. And then, obviously, like, jewelry and weapons, but that's kind of obviously here nor there. Most of that didn't change. But Dark Cuirass is probably still my favorite chess piece. I think Dark Cuirass is generally the best one. It works the best in trios. If you were to play just solos or something, I think Fine Cuirass is perfectly fine as well. Because, if you're playing solos or duos, you don't really care that much about magic damage. Like, it's still there, but it's way easier to play around in a solos or duos mode rather than trios. In trios, you can't really, like, run away and kite as freely as you can in those lower or smaller team modes, which has been kind of the case for me. So most of my trios builds, I've ended up running either some sort of magic res, or avoid it at all costs. Because recently I've been playing with a Barbarian, so most of the time if there's a Wizard, the Barbarian can run at him and deal with that. And then if you look at the rest of my stats, almost 10% action speed, which is pretty good. 48.9% physical damage reduction, 22% almost magic res, and then 12% fizz power. A little low in the fizz power, a little bit not quite as high as I would like it to be, but it's definitely not that bad. Now to move on to the next kit, just to like, kind of like show you guys some of the stats that you can try to aim for with these kits and just like generally what they should be looking like. You see this one, 167 HP, 292, 7.2. Roughly they're at same PDR, lower MR, and then a little bit higher fizz power. And these right here are pretty much the kits I've been running. I don't like you can, and most of the time, like these kits aren't super expensive. Like yeah, obviously, like you know these have like true fizz on them and stuff, but like you could easily just like not go for true fizz. Like you could pretty much build these exact same stats, but you just wouldn't have like the true physical damage that I do. And because of that, you could have something else. Maybe you have more power, maybe you have more HP, whatever. But those are like the normal kits, and then I want to show you one that I consider like definitely the high-end kit. So like this is like those right there are like the typical kits I'd run. I would say those, not including you know like True Fizz jewelry with max health or anything like that. Like you can easily build these kits for 5 to 10k tops. And I will say this now because I know a lot of people are gonna be like, okay, but like what about like the cheaper options? Kind of sucks right now, but for the most part, you don't really get to build cheap options for fighter. That's kind of how it is, because fighter definitely needs like a decent amount of stats. It's like, yeah, like you know you could just build health and you could have like no move speed, and then even if you don't die, you're probably not going to kill anybody. So you kind of really need those move speed boots and like some decent gear outside of that, because like I said, it's like if you can run away from people and live really easily, but if you ever want to have the chance to actually fight and kill people, especially in duos or trios, you really need a bit better gear. And before I go into this last kit, I will say something right now, just to mention it. So the Demon's Glee Manosphere fighter build, because I know people are going to ask me about it. I know. It's not good. It is so incredibly mid. I do not recommend using it. It is just worse than a Crystal Sword. So just for, I don't think I have a Crystal Sword. Okay. Just for reference. The Crystal Sword is 19 weapon damage and 19 magic weapon damage. This is 38 base damage, and if you're using a Sovereign's Ghost Blade, it's a 19%. It's a 19 move speed penalty because the 2% move speed bonus. That's 6 move speed. 25 minus 6, 19. It's a 19 move speed penalty with 38 damage, half magic, half physical. Then if we were to compare it to a Demon's Glee, actually I can just look at my weaponsmith, it'd be easier. If we're to compare this to the Demon's Glee, this is minus 15 move speed. This right here, the Manosphere, which you use with it, is another minus 15. So this is minus 30. So this is 11 move speed, what's 11 move speed more than the Crystal Sword. And then yes, there are some benefits like being able to get dual wield with it, right? Because dual wield is really nice. It's 10% free action speed. The Demon's Glee swings faster. All that is true. However, this is only 1 magic weapon damage. And then yes, you know, you have like true magic damage from this and add weapon damage from this, and you have a little bit of magical damage. But overall, this does much less damage than Crystal Sword. Much less damage. And also much worse range, and then you're slower. So I'm just throwing, like, just, if you want to use this build, go for it, right? Like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you don't use the build because you want to run it. Go for it. Feel free to. However, at the end of the day, if you want to run what is, like, good, and you want to run some magic damage build, just use the Crystal Sword, bro. You will save yourself a lot of time and a lot of issues. Because this shit just is not good. It's really not. I know it's popular, but, like, you just, like, myself included, bro, whenever I put a build up on YouTube, don't just like, oh my god, that's broken, and blindly trust it. Do not just trust a YouTuber's build, bro. Go try it out for yourself and see. And if you try it and think it's broken, great, use it. But I am telling you right now, honest to God truth, this shit ain't that good. It is incredibly mid. Honestly, Demon's Glee on Fighter is incredibly mid anyways. Like, you should not be using this on Fighter. Not with the Manosphere, not with the shield. This is just much worse. Because 1 magic weapon damage is only like 2 actual damage. That's the same for normal weapon damage. So you could be using something that's effectively like 29 weapon damage here. Or you could use Arming Sword. That's 38 or 39 at max rarity. And it'd be way better. Like, so much better. But yeah, I just wanted to cover that really quick because I knew I was going to get questions about that. Alright, and then for the last kit, This is a very, very high... Oh, I don't know, I'll put the shield on. This is like the very, very high-end version of the kits I was showing earlier. This is really, really good. You see 180 HP, 292 move speed, 8% action speed, 43% PDR, 4.5% MR, and 10% Fizz power. This kit is pretty insane. Obviously, like, the thing is, and I say this kit's high-end, it could definitely be better. I just kind of threw something together, and I bought some, like, pretty pricey items. But, like, my boots, for example, these boots are incredibly mid. These are only 1.1% move speed with... These are effectively 3 dead statted boots. I could maybe get some better ones really quick just to show you guys. Let's see. Let's go for move speed bonus. Let's see if there's anything, like, really good up here. But, yeah, like, this kit is definitely, like, it's, like, the better version of most of the other ones I've been showing. And while it is incredibly expensive, it is also incredibly good. 1 Fizz power, 2 max health, 2... I mean, that's decent. I don't really care about that, though. I mean, what do I want? 1 max HP or... Oh, wait, those are good. I'll take those. Whatever. I'm pretty sure I just scam... Okay, whatever. I'm an idiot. Anyways. Yeah, so, like, this right here... And, like, this isn't even, like, showing that... I mean, the kit's, like, good, but this is kind of just showing you can still get really high HP if you're willing to give up other stats. Because if you compare this to the kits I just showed, tiny little bit less action speed, a little bit less PDR, and a little bit less Fizz power, but I have, like, another 14 HP more, which is then going to be added on top of by the weapons. But other than that, not a lot to go over. Most of the fighter builds are still relatively the same. I would still run Arming Sword Heater. You can use Falchion if you want. I don't think it's nearly as good. You can use Crystal Sword. I don't think it's very good. It's like a solos build, and even in solos, there are a lot of things you lose to, especially now with the nerfs to gear and health. It used to be you could kind of like brute force your way through a lot of your weaknesses by just having like 1,000,000 HP. Not really the case anymore. If you run into a wizard, they are going to kill you if they're even half decent. And yeah, don't use Demon's Glee build. That shit is ass. But with that being said, that is gonna wrap it up for me. Hopefully I will have a gameplay video coming out tomorrow. Shit, maybe I'll put one in here. I don't know. But anyways, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.